Welcome to the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast, your home for all things football at Waldorf University, the best small college football experience in America. Hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson, from the secret gridiron bunker beneath Volsdorf Field. Now, let's meet the captains of today's podcast.
All right, welcome to the Waldorf Gridiron Podcast. No idea what episode number this is, and if you listen to a real podcast, people would say, we're episode 413. I have no idea, Troy. We're in the 20s. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about something kind of foreign.
Oh, are we?
Well,
is it the Queen?
No.
Oh.
You actually answered the question. We're going to be talking about foreign O.
Oh.
Waldorf Warriors 4-0 after
that was the worst one. That's just terrible.
That's a dad joke for you guys out there.
That was perfect.
I should not try to mess with the buttons here.
Yeah. So our captains today, we're pretty excited. We got a couple studs sitting around the table with us tonight. Vontae Harper, a junior running back, big number 2. And Tyler Dennis, a senior D-back. Tyler wears number 23 for the Warriors. We'll go into Javonte a little bit, and they call you Tay. Do you prefer Javonte, Tay?
I actually prefer Tay, but I only like being called Javonte by like superiority. So like, coaches and like teachers can call
you
Javonte.
Tay then, because
You're my coach though, so you can call. I give you.
What have I coached you on?
Yeah,
equipment. You coached me on equipment.
See this
coach.
Here?
I need a mouth guard.
Yeah.
Okay. The way you
Give me
wear
a towel every week. Like,
did you notice that? So like DQ is now announced from the PA as DQ. And same thing with J. Ray.
Yeah.
So now it's Tay. I had no idea.
I would want to be announced as Tay, though.
I will tell you that.
But,
Tay Harper.
But the thing is that there's so many Tays at the school now. I don't want to be called Tay.
So interesting story.
But on the end, but not on the field.
Even then, I want to be called by Vontae now because there's so many Tays.
Okay, Vontae.
Yeah, Vontae.
Well, that's an easy
Vontae.
change to make.
Yeah, it's an
When
easy
you come
change.
back in a couple week or so, then that's what you'll hear because I know we'll be saying your
That's
name.
perfect.
Oh, yeah. For sure you will. So Tay, interesting story because I followed your
He
journey
just said he
on
wants
Twitter.
to call Vontae.
Vontae.
Vontae on the field or Tay?
Vontae for now.
Period.
Vontae Harper.
We just had
I got it.
We just had
got
a
it.
Prince moment.
There we go.
Changed the
If I
sign.
I can't edit from my phone.
He can't edit from his phone.
No, because it's an iPhone 2.
Oh, all right. Yeah, special.
Well, I mean, I've had it a long time. It's like an heirloom.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
from like
don't let it go.
1960.
Okay, so Vontae, I was actually following your journey here to Waldorf on Twitter because Tay Buchanan, the other guy that named Tay,
Yes.
that's what we call him anyway. When he was shouting you out when I don't even remember what it was, but it was something about hey, there's room for 2 Tays on this team, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And I'm like, so I start looking you up. I'm like, ooh, we need this guy. Absolutely, we need this guy. So Vontae was originally from Houston, Texas. We have a Houston connection here at Waldorf.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Coach Chopper goes down there, if I'm not mistaken.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Does he?
Yeah.
Well, I know he's from the San Antonio area. Well, now. I mean, he was a military kid. So now Vontae, you're going to have to correct me where I'm wrong because, again, I just tried to do this quickly the other day. C. King High School?
Yes, sir.
I got it right. You wore number 2.
Yeah.
And you were classified as wide receiver. Okay. And then did you go to Arkansas Baptist right after?
Yeah, not right after. Actually, I took 2 years off high school because I had some family situations going on. We got hit by a hurricane and everything. So I chose to stay home and help out my grandma and help pay bills, help get our house fixed, get her back on her feet.
I love that.
I did that for
Good
like
man,
I did that for
Vontae.
like a year and a half.
What a
and
great
then
guy.
she gave me the decision the green light to go back to school, and I just went to school and I just like took off ever since.
Do you think that helped you then? in some
Yeah,
way?
I think it did because it taught me how to be on my own too. Because I had to kind of live on my own too. Because I didn't actually live with her for the whole 2 years that I was on my own. I lived by myself about a good like 6 months. Living from place to place every now and then. So it was a rough journey being on my own, but like it got our bond really strong though. And she just like understood that like, hey, like since I can tell that you're in it for me, I'm in it for you. And we just got a real good connection at this point. Now she's like just my number one supporter.
Yeah, and you come into school. You go back to school. You're a couple years older. You're a little bit bigger. You're a little bit faster, stronger. Maybe I don't know what you'd been doing in training and up to that point, but there certainly is a difference between if you 18-year-old graduate from high school and then you see them come in as recruits. Like an 18-year-old freshman, a redshirt freshman or whatever. What that person looks like in 3 years is very different than what they walked. Hopefully, what they walked in.
I look completely different.
Yeah. So you came in with 2 years already under your belt and just a little bit more of a man, and you're just like, okay, this is. And probably, did you know what you were wanting to do then?
When I came here?
No, I mean just when you come into college after a break from high school of 2 years, did things crystallize a little bit? Like, I'm going to do this.
Well, for me specifically, because I feel like when people first go to college, they have no idea what to do. But for me specifically, I knew one thing. I knew that I wanted to walk. That was the first thing I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to graduate, and I knew I needed to find a way to be able to play football and also graduate. That was my first thing.
Yeah.
And then kind of like halfway through like my first year of college, I started actually like getting bigger, and I started getting really good because like all that 2 years kind of came back, and I started getting my mojo back, and like I just kind of like just took off at that point, and I was like, okay, I'm getting good. I'm getting my education. Now, how can I use that to find my next place where I want to go to after JUCO, which is where I went.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's great. I like that. And maybe more young men or young folks should do that.
I feel like if you're not fully decided after high school, don't rush it. Because I feel like you might not feel like you have all the time in the world, but you have your time specifically.
Very interesting because a lot of times, especially the guys that want to play, or anybody, men or women that want to play a sport in college. They're like, I don't know what I'm going to study or what I'm going to graduate with, but I definitely know I'm going to play X sport, and I'm going to look and base part of my decision based on with that program, which is kind of fine. But then. But you're a good example of like, oh yeah, but you can also do that a year or two later. Like that doesn't change just because you're not from high school. It's very interesting because it's the times are changing. It's an interesting perspective, and you're a success story.
Amen. Yeah, well put. So you ended up at SAGU, Southern Assemblies of God University. We got 3 guys on the roster that transferred up from SAGU, including actually 4. If you want to include Paramore.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. His wife too, so 5.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Because she had to finish up her degree down there.
Yeah.
So just last year for SAGU, the Lions, you wore number 88. You were again a wide receiver, at least classified as that. But you had 21 rushes for 109 yards, a touchdown, and you had 3 returns for 60 yards. That was at SAGU. So now we bring this wonderful young man to Waldorf University. Right now, he's 4th in the nation for longest run from scrimmage.
Did you know that? I'm going to say he did.
77 yards. That big run.
Yeah, this last
which
game.
Was
that breakaway.
That was so fun to watch. And he's 27th in the nation in yards per carry. I mean, that's mostly thanks to that 77-yarder. But you have 35 carries for 185 yards. You're averaging 5.3 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. You have 1 reception for 19 yards and a touchdown. 8 kickoff returns for 176 yards. You're averaging 22 yards a return. So right now, in 4 games for the Warriors, he's got 380 all-purpose yards.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Not too shabby.
Now, and Vontae, I'll tell you, on the sidelines, we have a lot of really intense people.
Yeah.
I don't know if many of them can hold a candle to his intensity.
Oh, really?
Oh, energy and intensity.
Okay.
And,
all right.
He's an encourager. And, Tyler, I'm not going to leave you out on that, too, because as a team leader, you guys, you both, it's so fun to see those guys like the two of you on the sideline on Saturdays. Just that energy that you bring, and those young guys are watching, and the rest of the team really feeds off that. So that's always great to see. So yeah, obviously very, very happy to have Vontae Harper wearing the purple. Now SAGU was purple as well, weren't they?
Yeah, they were purple too.
Yeah, and you look, this is a better purple.
Well, this is purple. This is a better purple.
This is better.
They got black too. We got black here, so I'm not complaining.
Well, I feel like you found your place.
I really, that's the one thing I feel like that's the difference between me being here versus at SAGU, because when I got to SAGU, I was actually a late transfer. I didn't apply to the school until 2 weeks before August. So like I knew Coach Paramore, but I didn't know him like at all. I didn't know Coach Smith, who was the head coach at the time. I didn't know anyone before I got there actually, like fully. It was kind of like a split second conversation. Like one day Mike just came home back to Houston one day with me, and we just worked out, and he hasn't seen me in like a year. And I was just like huge, and he was like, "You're still playing football?" And at this time, I was trying to, I was actually going to SF Ed up on the time, and like I had already like had my decision to go there, but I didn't want to sit out. That was my thing. I didn't want to sit out playing football a year because I was like, okay, I got like 3 to 4 years of eligibility left because I might actually get another year back because my first year at Arkansas Baptist technically was a red shirt. So I might get an extra year. I don't know. But for now, I still have 2. And I was like, do I really want to sit out a year waiting on a D1, no scholarship? Or do I want to go here, get something fast, and then figure out what my next move is?
Right.
And like, I just flipped the switch and just went there last second. And I didn't get what I wanted there, obviously, because, you're not going to always get what you wanted. But I felt like I felt like I learned a lot of things while being there, and I found my role. And like my role is just being everywhere as much as possible and trying to be on the field as much as I can and do whatever job I can do. And like I feel like that's the one thing that's like really good on me is like I'm just so utilized. Like they use utility weapons so much. So like,
well, that's accurate for sure.
Yeah, you're definitely all over the place. That's for sure. Because you lay the hammer sometimes on was it the kick team?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yes, they're not expecting that. Like, why do they have a running back out there? And then the guy getting up off the ground going, why do they got a running back out there? He should be a linebacker.
What happened there? Yeah. Well, and they're not afraid to stick you right up the middle too, which is, I mean, that can be brutal. I think you and John know that pretty well. But holy cow, you can get through it, which is awesome. Like I like watching my kids, watch you and say, okay, well, keep your legs moving. Find that spot. Oh, it's just great. And it's fun that you guys are 4-0 and that we're rated.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
24 in the nation, baby.
Finally.
Yeah.
I know.
We should have been 2 weeks ago. We really should have been, but that's okay.
Share.
I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, and it's just we got nothing but upside going.
Yeah.
All right, the other voice you're hearing there is the voice of Tyler Dennis. As I said earlier, he's a senior defensive back, big number 23 from Fernley, Nevada. He comes to us from Fernley High School, the Vaqueros.
Yep, correct.
What's that?
It's a Mexican cowboy. So in northern Nevada, it's a bunch of you see the Western stories, the Western cowboy movies. It's kind of the same deal over there. It's a smaller town, a little bigger than Forest City, but it is just it's a little small. I kind of been growing up around small town communities.
So in Spanish, vaquero is herder of cattle.
Oh, okay.
So
that's pretty.
Yeah,
learn something new every day.
Well, and you know what? That'd be pretty tough to say. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fernley High School, herder of cattles.
Yes.
I mean, that would just not seem, or herders of cattle.
Cattle herdsman. Yeah.
Could be.
Well, that's great.
I don't know.
Herder.
But you wore number 23 when you were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just your senior year alone at Fernley, you had 50 tackles, 2 interceptions as a senior, and then you transferred to which JUCO?
Feather River College in Northern California. It's Quincy, California, small town just like Forest City, and it was 2 hours away from home, so I was always going back and forth.
Yeah, whereabouts is Fernley? I was going to look that up. Didn't get time.
It's about 30 minutes outside of Reno, Nevada. If you've ever seen Reno, Reno's a big town.
I've seen the show Reno 911.
I've seen Reno 9. Most of my police knowledge is actually based on Reno 911 and Blue Bloods. So
yeah, right there. That's exactly where we're at.
A weird mixture of how policing works.
NYPD Blue was also a huge influence on
was
my
it?
understanding of law enforcement.
So sometimes I'll tell people, especially out here, because they don't know exactly where Fernley is. I'll tell them, "Oh, I'm from Reno, Nevada," or I'm from Lake Tahoe, because they're all within 30 minutes of each other.
I've heard you say that before. Yeah, as a matter of fact.
Are you familiar with Reno 911? Okay, I could tell by your expression that you felt a little left out. It was a Comedy Central show that ran at the beginning of this century for about 7 years. And you can binge watch it if you want. It would not be. I could tell you this. I don't think it'd be running in today's day and age. It's very
absolutely not. Probably.
It's very edgy humor.
My favorite.
Definitely finna go watch it. Definitely finna go.
Zach Galifianakis is in it as a special role. They've got all these funny just special roles. But anyway, I don't think that's entirely what Reno's like. But I do kind of hope that it's a little bit like that.
A little bit.
I would
most
hope
definitely.
So.
Yeah. Most definitely. It's like a small Vegas.
That's
it
what
is,
they
yes.
say. Biggest little city in the world.
Yep,
Isn't that
that's
right?
exactly what it is.
That is. Okay. So back to you.
Yeah. So Tyler, we talked a little bit about you going to Carroll College, the Fighting Saints in Helena, and then COVID hit, and that just kind of dissolved.
Absolutely.
And so then we were blessed to have you here at Waldorf University just this year.
Mm-hmm.
Just this year. 2 interceptions, as a matter of fact, that came last Saturday against Dakota State.
Yes. Yeah. That was a non-conference game, but a conference rival.
Yes, absolutely. So you're tied for 12th nationally in interceptions. You have 1 blocked kick return for a touchdown of 80 yards. That earned you the North Star Special Teams Player of the Week, and you got honorable mention nationally from the NAIA. And then this week, he was the NSAA Defensive Player of the Week. So week 2 and week 4, you got your name in lights. And rightfully so. I mean, 2 big picks last week and then that 80-yard return, that was huge. It was absolutely so fun to watch. And I'll tell you what, if you look at NAIA football and you look at Offensive Player of the Week, Defensive Player of the Week, and Special Teams Player of the Week, Waldorf has honorable mention on all 3 of those nationally, including the gentleman sitting across the table from me. You did get honorable mention for National Defensive Player of the Week. So congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm very grateful for the opportunity, but at the same time, it's also something that I'm supposed to do. I've been taught, don't celebrate the things that you're supposed to do, you know, stuff like that. So staying very humble and then just doing my job. I accept it and I love it. I love all the hype and everything, but at the same time, don't want to let it distract me too much from the next week.
Yeah, if you start believing your own marketing, it can get dangerous. But I appreciate that. I think that's awesome. You're doing great out there, and
I was kind of giggling today because I suppose Dakota State last week was sitting in the room going, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
They got Ed Von Works over on that side. They got, Case and Handle might be there. They got McCoy Yakel. You got Will Strickland. We could maybe try throwing over toward Tyler Dennis's side. Didn't work.
Didn't
work.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's the best part of having all you guys back. The same thing in the offense, too. And we've got so many different guys we can interchange and go different directions.
Weapons.
It's amazing. So it's
weapons all over the place.
Yeah, that's great. Let them keep doing that.
We welcome it. We welcome it.
We want.
Do you think? Yeah. I mean, is Yakel just back there, just kind of signaling to the other team like he's the weak one? Throw his way, and
free money,
and then
free money,
and they're like, "Well, he said
bait them into it."
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. And
that's
obviously not what happened.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah.
I suppose they're in the locker room after the game. Well, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, I get so excited when I get to when big plays happen like that, and it's fun to say individuals' names, whether it's touchdown, interception, and then say your name. That's important. It's fun for parents to hear their kids' names. So
I love it. I definitely love it.
Definitely love hearing my name screamed.
I love it.
I don't know who does it, but whoever was screaming my name 2 weeks ago, I was like, I love this. Keep doing this.
Yeah. What do you mean? Like just in the crowd?
Yeah.
No, I think it was when I scored. Whoever was like in the announcer, who was announcing, he was so much enthuathem, so much energy, and I was
about that guy.
Oh, it's him.
Yeah,
it had to be him. Oh, that explains. It was like at first I didn't even realize it till I went back and watched it, and everyone was like, "Tay, whoever y'all announced it here, they need to give him a raise."
Hey, there you go.
Well, they'll double your salary if you want.
That's right.
We definitely love it. My mom was loving it too. She drove all the way from Nevada.
Oh, really?
It was her first Waldorf game in person. So she was loving it. She was having
it's so awesome that mom got to be here for a huge game for you.
Yeah, well, that's exciting, and that's what we're trying to create. The Gridiron Club is trying to create that environment, trying to tell the Warrior story, so that when mom comes and it's just like the crowd is there and you've got people tailgating and the community is out and she knows what a small community is because you went to the small school before too and all that, and then just to have everybody there, and then it's just like you're part of that legend. So you're part of that legend now and forever, and that's what we want. You graduate, you walk, but this is still kind of a hometown for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, you guys will always have a place here.
Yeah,
and it's one of those things we talk about this team. There's a lot of special things going on, and you guys know that better than anything. But yes, we want you to excel and succeed on the football field. But Vontae, we want you to walk across that stage, and that's going to be a glorious day for us. Tyler, same for you. I mean, any one of those kids, and we have such exceptional character in our locker room right now. The 3 years I've been with, there's something about this team. There's something about this team that feels different. The caliber of human beings that we have wearing those jerseys on Saturdays and going to practice every day, it's exceptional. And you guys are a huge piece of that, and you should be very proud of yourselves.
Yeah, I think you probably are too. I mean, you have probably a little bit of, I appreciate your humility that you discussed and everything. And however, there's probably a little bit of swagger that comes along with that. And you need to have that in order to have the confidence to just go back on the battlefield and play the game. Speaking of which, we've got a big game coming up, and that's going to be a battle too on Saturday. And you're focused just like you are every single time. How do we feel about it?
I feel great. It's another opportunity to go 1-0.
Another opportunity to go 1-0.
Right. Long trip though out to Michigan, to Ferris State.
Yep.
I guess they're the reigning Division II national champion.
They are. They're ranked number 1 in Division II right now, as a matter of fact.
I mean, whatever. So then they're also their homecoming, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Spoiled them.
we all put on our pants the same way.
Amen.
I'm so excited for you. I want to see it, you know.
I'm so excited for you guys to experience that.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 fans, and they're going to be pretty amped up, and I can't wait to hear how quiet it is halfway through the fourth quarter when it's like, Waldorf University, who are these guys?
That's right.
Why did we put them on our schedule?
That's correct.
Well,
Yeah.
the more the merrier. We definitely welcome it. You know, it doesn't matter who it is or where we're playing, anything like that. It's another game. It's another week. All these kids, they play the same game that we do. We've grown up playing this game. They're all the same age, and you know, who cares? D1, NAIA, D3. At this,
100%.
you know, we're just focused. We're ready to go, and we all know all the hours that we put in every day, whether it's meetings, practice, film study, on top of being a student as well. So we're focused. We have the talent offensively, defensively. So it's we're ready.
Yeah, and look, you're punching up, which is the way to be. Like, you know, if you're gonna go out and you're gonna play a team that's really good, and you're gonna measure up with them, and you're gonna do your absolute best, and that's outstanding, because there's nothing that can happen that isn't going to be making you a better team. Because when we come back and we crush it the following week and the following week and the following week and keep going there, I've said it. I don't want to jinx anything, but I was looking at hotels out in North Carolina in December because I happen to know that's where our championship is. So I'm certainly hoping that's where we end up.
For sure. This team can do it.
Absolutely. You know, we look forward to that, but at the same time, try to just focus week by week as well.
By week,
Day by day.
Yeah,
Take
right.
everything
1-0
step
each
at a
week.
time.
That's right. And and the coaches do a great job bringing that in, and that's awesome. Yeah. All right.
So we talked a little bit about community, and, you know, Tyler, you've had the opportunity to be here longer than Vontae. And so, Vontae, what do you think about this little town following a small college?
Yeah.
I love it here. I'm not even, I would make this place my home low key if I had the opportunity to. I would stay here for an extra year if I wanted to after I finished school and everything, just because the community is just so open arms, and I'm from my environment, I've never been in a fully open arms environment. Even at my old school, they really didn't open athletics to us. They didn't bring in
Really?
Yeah, they didn't like athletics all the way. It was a little weird. Games weren't packed, or weren't even as fun. We'd be bored at the games. No energy, none of that. And being here and just being with all these fans that just love Waldorf for Waldorf, and not because of all the excess and outside factors and everything. They just truly want to be in this community and just be in this environment. It's just it's just a blessing to me, at least. I feel like it's a blessing. And I noticed that when me and Mike and Daz, when we all came here, that was the first thing we said when we said, bro, this community is crazy. They just love Waldorf University. And it was bro, we just want to be a part of this even more. That's why I don't want to leave.
I love that. Well, what are you studying?
Exercise science.
Okay.
I actually graduate next semester.
Oh no.
Yeah. I graduate next semester actually, so I'm gonna be walking in May.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start my master's in the next fall, so I can be able to stay and play my last season here.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, good.
Heck yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of had a sick feeling there when he said, I graduate in May. Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, good. Congratulations.
Well,
I know
yeah, we
that's
want
your goal.
that.
That's what you're here for. But
Yeah.
we'd like to keep you around.
Yeah, we're going to be cheering for you on
Yeah.
on that Sunday afternoon as well.
That's right.
I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what, it's one of those things. College football is a vehicle for you gentlemen to get that degree and be able to move on and do other things.
Yeah.
And that's what we want for you.
How do you see, you punch through some holes, and I mean, the competition is what it is. And how do you, so I did not carry the ball, right? don't throw it to stone hands. All right, that's where I'm at. But so how do you do that? Like, what do you see in that split second?
Okay,
how do you move?
So do you want to know something crazy? Is
Yes.
that I've actually only been playing running back specifically I've been an athlete since at my last school. That's when I started actually becoming an athlete. But I didn't actually start playing running back until halfway through of last season, and it was just for like fun.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even try.
Yeah,
Like I just went.
great.
I was just one day. I was just
That's
bored
better,
at practice, and like
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, coach, can I go to scout team running back?" And he was like, "Okay." And then 5 seconds later, I have 4 touchdowns at scout team running back, and he was like,
Okay.
"You can do this." I was like, because I was a receiver and a tight end,
Yeah,
so like I was really good at catching the ball, really good at blocking, and really good in open space. And he was like, "You can do this," and I was like, "I mean, I don't know. I just if you want me to try, if you want me to do it, I can do it." Because that was one thing about me is that like my ability to just adapt to like situations and stuff. So like. I mean, just like, honestly, like, it's just like when I'm getting the ball and I'm trying to read my hole, it's just like, okay, everything happens in a split second.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got to be able to see it in a split second and hit it in a split second and just go at that point because I'm not really too worried about, I trust my O-line at the end of the day.
Right.
Regardless of whether they don't make their blocks, everything, I still got to trust them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And even if everything collapses, I truly believe if even if it all goes to hell, I still got to make something happen out of nothing. So that's what I try to do, at least out of that, but without doing too much though.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
well, you do, and that's great, and I love it that it's just like. I feel like that is exactly how it should be. Like you just be like, yeah, that was easy, like running back first time, like that was easy, or whatever. And yeah, that's like you just win an Oscar after your first movie. And you're like, this acting thing's really easy.
Yeah. but if you ask anybody, they will tell you. I say this every day. I love playing wide receiver.
Yeah.
I love playing wide receiver because that's just all I ever played. And like now, the fact that I can play wide receiver, running back, tight end, kick returner. I didn't start doing kick return till last year either.
So are you listed as what are you listed as officially? I guess I should know because
on the website it says tight end, but when I came in, I was told I was going to be an actual athlete.
Yeah.
Well, because they said tight end is technically the athlete position. So,
but Paramore's got like X back and
yeah.
Like
so
that.
I'm so in our system I'm listed as the F back.
That's what it was. Yeah, F back.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is like everything basically. I'm like the actual only one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the F back. Well, that's how I announced it. Not this past week we announced the defense, but the week prior to that, we announced starting offense.
I didn't even know my name was getting called. Actually,
Yeah, we were just like hanging out.
I was just hanging out in the back, and there was
Still
like
had your headphones on, the helmet's just in your hand. Like, oh, I'm going now. Yeah, no, because they said I want you to list all of these guys.
Yeah.
And we talked about it on the previous podcast. We're like, I'm pretty sure that I think that was Simpson. Simpson was like, I mean, I think they announced 15 people, because we did. We announced every single one, which was awesome.
There's a lot.
That was awesome. I ain't gonna cap. I swear, I bid you not. I was in the back just standing, and I'm like, all right, time to go. And everybody was like, oh, number 2. I was like, oh, that's me. I was like, oh, and I just ran out. It was so great. I was not expecting that, but but I think about it is that I just love that because other communities, they don't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That shows like y'all really love like Waldorf football. I just love that.
Well, Waldorf is, a blessing on our town, that's for sure. And so we look at, I know Andy and I look at it like this is a bit of a community service for us. We promote the school. We think that the program is the best venue for us to do that because it's something we're both pretty passionate about. We like watching it. The community can get behind it. We take pride in this. So the folks that come in and drive in from the surrounding communities, like this is their football action and it's a place to be and they like watching. Plus you guys are successful and it's fun to watch. Even when you have like when gosh, was it this last game? It might have been this last.
Yeah, that we were down.
I feel like we started slow.
Yeah, we were down 10-0. Yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah. And I was like, that doesn't seem like us, but even Simpson seemed like first quarter.
Yeah, we did
a little slow, and then after that, it just like it was rolling. Yeah.
I think that it was that second quarter most definitely for Simpson was like it was so weird because like first quarter I scored like first drive and then like we just was like stopping. I was like,
right,
what's going on? Like what's going? We calling like we just making a lot of mistakes and it's like okay, we need to change something. And then we go second quarter, we change something, and then okay, we get another score, and then we come back in from halftime and we're like, hey guys, let's go.
Yeah.
We literally had our foot on their throat and we're like, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's just take care of business now. And then at that point, defense came out, offense came out, and they just start going to work.
Clicking together, and that's right. So now it's a great opportunity to switch to the defense.
For sure. So TD, TD? I mean, that is so fitting.
Yeah.
TD.
Yeah.
I love it. So, what are you studying?
Exercise science as well.
Oh, so you guys are classmates. Look at that. All right. So what would you like to do with that degree?
Get into coaching. I'd love to stay with football. It's something I'm very passionate about, and it's kind of weird to think about that my football days are coming to an end. But if I could still stay around the game of football and coach, and I feel like it's somewhat of my duty to pass on what I have learned throughout high school and throughout junior college, throughout a 4-year university, and kind of spread my knowledge from all the other coaches across the country to other people, try and make them successful. So that's what I want to do.
I'll tell you what, Andy, I mean, if you just closed your eyes and listened to what he was saying right now, you would think, is that a young Tony Dungy? Because you have a similar delivery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we need to let you talk
Another
a little bit.
TD, Tony Dungy.
See?
Oh, it must be something
just
with
saying.
the initials.
Did you hear it?
Something.
I'm listening.
It must be something.
There's a couple Tony Dungy books in this room, and I'm just like, listen, I'm going, I feel like the tone, the demeanor, the give back, I don't know, it just sounded like Dungy.
Wow.
Now we'll listen to it in the playback and be like, oh, I was way off.
So in your time here at Waldorf, what's been your favorite class?
Oh man, if you know Mike Gatlin,
Oh, yeah.
My
I
God.
love Mike Gatlin. He's
Everybody does, don't they?
I don't know who that is.
I don't know why.
Is he
I don't
one
know
of the
who
Gatlin
wouldn't.
brothers? I guess potentially if he has other brothers.
His family it was actually Gatling, and they named the gun after him.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, because
Gatling.
he dropped the G, so it's Gatlin now.
Oh, what? Is
Yeah.
he?
I might be lying.
Yeah, I think that's because the Gatlin brothers. That's old school country music, like a group of guys.
You guys listen to a lot of country?
You know who does?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, Coach
have a real
Paramore.
I'll tell you what, I've listened to the
Yeah.
most country I've ever listened to in my life, being in Iowa.
Yeah,
Oh no, I'm from Texas. We listen to that every week.
there you go.
I
Yeah.
used to play baseball, so we had no choice. That was
Oh,
every
is that
week.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's just what's out there on the field. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it was before you guys reported. Paramore's in his office, and I hear the most god-awful noises coming from there, and it was like old country. And he has it just cranked. It's like locker room on Saturday before a game. Yeah, a little bit different genre.
Yeah,
But holy crap.
I love that. I mean, that's what I grew up because plowing the fields and whatever around here. So, but that's fantastic. Well, good. Anyway, sorry. Why does everybody love Gatlin? I don't know. We were getting back to that.
Mike Gatlin.
He's just a good guy.
Good
he has
guy.
a big heart.
He knows how to teach you. He does say a lot of big words that sometimes I'm like, well, slow it down.
Yeah.
And he'll explain it to you. He's somebody that I almost look up to in the health community world. That's how I get into teaching. He teaches you the why. Why do you do this? Why are you supposed to do that when you're
good.
coaching and stuff like that? So that's he's been a big part of my success in the classroom.
Well, that's good. That's good. And again, it's going to pay dividends come in May. And I think Troy and I are going to have to be there, and we'll do a live podcast. All right, Tyler Dennis is walking across the stage. He's received his diploma. Oh, he just screamed. Everybody will be yelling. Yeah,
they tried to give the diploma to somebody else, but you intercepted it. Oh, I know.
He took it to the house.
That's right. This is like, I got my degree and yours.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I can't wait till the day comes to get this degree. So
Yeah, that's a huge step. So TD, what do you like doing when you're not going to class and playing football?
we definitely hang out with the boys is what you can do. We've all very recently. I know Tay's been doing it too, playing Smash Bros.
Yeah.
We've all been.
I got everybody hooked on Smash Bros.
Oh,
now.
boy.
I kind of suck at it. I just button mash and do whatever. But it's making the little memories with the guys. Since it's so small, which is a good thing. It's going to keep you out of trouble, and that's what I'm really focused on because this is my last semester. I won't be here in the spring. Is trying to make as many memories as I can with as many people as I can.
Wow.
So you're gonna move on to whatever's next, starting at Christmas break.
Yep.
So now, they don't have a ceremony? So are you gonna come back for the ceremony?
I think I have to.
Yeah, you have to.
No, I think you do too. Yeah,
I think I do.
absolutely.
It'd be the very last time to see all the guys and see all my friends and see my teammates as well as get my degree. It's a life-changing decision, and
for sure.
I've been working hard for it so all this time, and make the drive one last time. Not a very fun drive, but I mean it's worth it at the end of the day.
How long a drive?
24 hours.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, just a day.
Yeah.
Just
24
day
hours.
trip.
I've done it before. I did it in May. Tried to see if I could do 24 straight. And I did, and I probably won't do it again.
No, it's
I'll
not.
split it up from now on.
Yeah, not worth
Well, yeah,
it.
driving through antelope country and everything else, I suppose.
Well, through Nebraska, man, it's so flat and boring, and
You want to avoid Nebraska at all costs.
I might have to go through South Dakota when I go back.
There you go. Well, it's kind of like that till you get toward the end of South Dakota.
Yeah.
Then it's a lot
Then
pretty
it gets
interesting.
pretty.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's pretty.
Everybody gets the last game, and we hope that is as deep into the season as we possibly can. But when it comes, what you've done now, that is fantastic. You're making conscious choices to spend that time with the team and get everything out of every single play.
Oh yeah, definitely. I appreciate that. And then it's I know the day's coming. Try not to think about it and still keep going week by week. But I made the decision come back for the COVID year. That's what I wanted to do. I knew last year when our last game of the season rolled around, I knew the second the clock hit 0 at the fourth quarter, I was like, yeah, I can't. This is not my last game. I'm gonna come back, play my COVID year, and do all that. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity. And at the same time, I know a new chapter in a couple months is going to be opening up for me. So
Yes.
when one chapter closes, another one opens.
That's right.
I wouldn't change it for a thing. I love the community, and if I had to do it all over again, I'd still come here. Wouldn't change a thing, and maybe the only thing I'd change is maybe going to that past 4-year university instead of come straight here out of JUCO would probably be the only thing I would change.
Okay.
But I wouldn't. It's just something I love. The community, small town, everybody's out there, tailgates and supporting the team, and it's you really can't find this anywhere else. I've been all around the country, even my JUCO. It wasn't really too many people out there. Over in Montana for the month and a half I was over there, it's something different over here. It's something special.
Yeah, agreed. So Vontae, let's talk a little bit, and I could
sliding into that.
I could almost guess the answer to this question, and I'd be about right. Tell me about how you ended up at Waldorf University.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, y'all already know the answer, but long story short, I mean, Coach Paramore, they ended up firing him at our old school, and long story. They ended up laying him off. They was like, yeah, we don't. They was like, yeah, they don't want. They were like, yeah, they don't want. They was like, yeah, we don't want you no more. So you can go somewhere else. And then he came here, and I was like, during the summer, actually, I didn't actually plan on transferring.
Yeah.
And then kind of everything just started like towards like the middle of June. Our head coach at SAGU got fired, and then we didn't know who the new head coach is, and I'm like, I'm a little iffy. And then I kind of knew a lot of the head people at SAGU because I was I was actually on I'm on the esports. I was on the esports team there too, and I'm on here too.
Oh, okay.
And his dad was one of like the guys that were like connected to like the thing, and then I knew like the president and everything too. So like they kind of told me, oh well, we're looking at this guy, they're looking at this guy, and me, I'm like. I'm like, okay, how am I going to finish my degree and how I'm going to be able to play as much as I possibly can on the field? Because I was like, okay, I done spent all summer working my tail off, putting on weight, putting on all this muscle, putting on all this size and everything to be able to go out and play at least 40, 50 snaps a game. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to be able to play at multiple positions as much as possible and be able to succeed like that? And when I was trying to get in contact with the coaches at the new coaches at SAGU, I never actually got the chance to even talk to the offensive coordinator before I left about it. And then I ended up Coach Paramore was like, hey, you come here. And then I talked to Coach Finley, and then I talked to Coach Ani, and it was like an instant click when I talked to Coach Ani and Coach Finley. It was like, I just felt like I just needed to be here. Like even before I even committed, I was like, I need to be here. I need to come here.
That's a magical story. It really is. I can just imagine Paramore. I'm sure he didn't say this, but in my mind, he says, at the end of the day,
he was flipping.
I'm building a machine, and I've got a place for you.
He was. I know. I'm pretty sure. Yes. I'm pretty sure him and Coach
Buck
Ani
Owens
was the
playing
most
in the back.
excited people ever. But when I finally committed and said I was coming, I know they probably tore down Forest City because they were like, we need them. Like I'm kind of happy that I'm kind of here because I get to do everything and not feel like I'm controlling everything too. Because that's the one thing I want all my brothers to succeed at the end of the day. I want TD, I want Sam, I want Mike, I want Malik, I want Tay, I want everyone to succeed. So I don't ever want to feel like I'm predicating the whole thing and I'm taking all the the glory is for God at the end of the day. But I want all my brothers to succeed before I even succeed. If we all succeeding together, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I like that.
Like that's the thing that I really like about being here is that the fact that if I can do my job for someone else, they're gonna succeed. Just like, and if they see that I'm doing that, they're gonna do their job for me.
Now maybe that's what you're talking about, Andy, in the locker room. The vibe is different. We've had good teams.
It's a brotherhood.
It is. Yeah,
it really is.
That is what it is. In fact, I think that's one of your T-shirts now that came out in the world. Didn't the program have? No.
I don't know.
Well, I have one that says brotherhood on it.
I need to go get one.
Probably ordered that.
Yeah,
I will tell you this. It was on the online store that closed a while back, and they were trying to sell stuff. But I will tell you, the brotherhood shirt was a Nike Fit one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a little tighter than what I thought it was going to be. Honestly, I have a little bit more of a dad bod. When I put it on, I'm like, we have to wait on this one. So, but yeah, I do
Keep
like
running.
the shirt. Yeah,
Keep running.
That'll make the difference.
You know, it's interesting. We talk about Coach Paramore, and earlier in our conversation, I heard Vontae say at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't had Taze and Mike on yet to see if that's like, that must be like a set, because you should go back and listen when we had Coach Paramore on the podcast, because he said at the end of the day,
a lot,
no less than like 70 times.
Yeah, we could,
which is okay.
The episode,
because at the end of the day, it was a great episode.
And actually, that's what he said in the episode. I mean, I edited a few of them out because I'm like, this is getting a little bit.
But it was funny because that's one of the things. Callie sent us a text, and she just all it said was at the end of the day.
Yeah,
and so you'd briefly said that. I just thought, is that something they say?
Yeah, that's
in Dallas.
It's more of a down south slang at the end of the day.
No, they say it up here a lot too.
They do.
Yeah, well, I mean, when somebody
it's a crutch phrase. And people have crutch phrases, and at the end of the day is one that people for him. I don't know if he says it as much now as he did that particular episode, but it is definitely a crutch.
He's usually very intense walking around the coaches' offices, and I just kind of
Oh yeah,
I wink at him. That's about it.
Well, the season is
get a nod.
Business. This is when you show off. The coaches too, and you're going to be entering into. Are you interested in coaching or something different?
Well, I do want to potentially try to play pro ball after, but I actually had a little coaching job this past summer, being a strength conditioning coach at a high school. They instantly offered me a job after I finish school. So if I ever wanted to actually go coach, I can actually go do that after I finish school.
Oh, there you go.
So I do want to, but I'm really more of like personal training. I really like personal training. I like training. I love like developing my body, putting on weight, putting on size, putting on muscle, and then helping people get better. And like literally, that's all I did all summer was just help high school receivers just get better.
Really?
Yeah, that's all I did.
I feel like I have a job for you. Do you know, now that sounds great for young folks, but do you know how to do the same thing for older people?
Yeah, I do.
So, he talked about, he was putting on some weight, putting on some size, putting on some muscle. I feel like I got two of those nailed down. The size and the weight.
Yeah, well, there you go.
The muscle, not so much.
You know what, though? It's there.
What?
It's there. It's in there.
It's
it can be.
You got to bring it out
to the surface.
It's atrophied at this point.
It's like your muscle is on your arm, but it's in its own wheelchair.
Vontae, you mentioned esports.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
So okay, I am 52 years old, and I see that we have an esports team at the university. When it comes to my knowledge of esports,
do they have Duck Hunt?
Well, on actually the game that I play, Smash Bros, he's actually in the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in the game as a playable character.
Oh, okay.
And so that's something that TD you're getting into. So describe what is esports. You guys tell us what's going on.
He'd probably give you a better description than I will.
Well, esports is just basically you playing video games against other colleges. It's just kind of like football. You play against other universities. You're in your own division. You have a specific game. Some games are team based. The game that I play is more single player based right now because I don't have teammates yet because there's nobody good enough to play with me.
Ooh, okay. So now the swagger comes out when it comes to
Unfortunately, there isn't no one at Walter that's good enough to play with me. So
coach him up, Vontae.
Yeah.
Coach him up.
I mean, I've been coaching up a couple people now that I might let them try next semester, maybe if they stick in and hone in. But I'm like, hey, y'all, just focus on football right now.
So is TD cutting it right now? Yeah.
No.
No,
Not even close.
I'm red shirting. I'd have to red shirt.
Oh yeah.
red shirt this season.
Red shirt.
Exactly.
It's a
He might not even make the practice
Oh,
squad.
boy. Oh no, not even on the scout team. Oh,
You could be
no.
on the scout team. I'll let him be on the scout team.
But I'll learn how to press the right buttons or something like that.
But yeah, I mean, it's really fun. You know, it's a different thing. It's a really good side hobby for when I'm not like in football. You know, to just keep me out of trouble, keep me out of my mind. And I just always kind of been in esports ever since I was I want to say since I was about 11, 12 years old. I've been in esports.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to go all across Texas playing tournaments and just win money and then meet a bunch of people. Yeah,
Wow.
meet a bunch of people. And then I took a long break. I think after high school, I took a little break because I focused on really just I was still in the esports community, but I was more just like commentating, you know, going to tournaments and just like talking over games, talking over matches and stuff. And then
Wow, it's a whole culture.
yeah, and then I think last year when I went to Sagu, they found out that I was like some ex-prodigy, and freaking one guy like just stayed in my room for like 2 hours playing the game with me. He was like, "Yeah, you're on the esports team," and I was like, "Dude, I haven't played this game in like 3 years. Why are you making me do this?"
Right.
He was like, "Because you have potential, and we could win." And we came up short, but we upset at the national championship team. We beat them.
That's
Awesome.
cool.
Yeah, we beat them twice.
Sounds familiar though. It sounds similar to the running back story. Where
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try this, I guess. And,
So TD, what game are you guys playing?
yeah.
It's Super Smash Bros. You know.
Okay,
But
so describe that for me. I mean, what do you do?
it's
It's a fighting game.
yeah, fighting game, whole bunch of characters, you name it, like all the Mario people and XYZ. They probably have it on the game, and then face your other opponents. And you just basically just fight each other. You know, I don't really know too much about it. All I know is I just button mash on the controller and try and do my best, you know, and pray, you know.
Wow.
Well, so when I was in college, we had Nintendo NES.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, you had the arrow pad on your left thumb and A and B on your right thumb. That was it. Now, I played, I don't even remember what game it was. Somebody's like, hey, you want to play? I think it was probably like some Madden game. And of course, you got joysticks and buttons on every one of your fingers. I don't get it. I have no manual dexterity when it comes to that.
Yeah. Didn't have. I had a Nintendo when with my brother, who's younger than I am, and this is a long time ago, you know. And I sold my half to him. I'm like, this.
Yeah, the first Legend of
the whole
Zelda
thing can be yours. You know.
I think I've owned.
After I
every
beat
single
Contra
game
by
since
learning the cheat code, I mean, and 1942, I think was the game that those were the two games that I cared about. Contra and 1942.
I don't
They're
remember.
both terrible games.
Contra is not terrible. I love
Well, you love Contra? Okay.
Love that game.
Yeah. Well, cheat code. You know, that was fun. That was fun.
There was a game that we used to play on NES, and I cannot remember what it was, but I remember the cheat code because before the game said start, you could do a move on your controller, and it would give you 99 lives. And I'll never forget. It's up, down, left, right, B, A, select, start.
I feel like that's the same thing with Contra, the old Contra.
I never played Contra. I was a Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Brothers,
I feel like it's
Tecmo
something
Bowl,
like that. I can't remember.
Blades of Steel.
Yeah.
No.
Once I beat it, I left it alone. I was like,
Well,
done with that. My generation's like just that thing. I never got into video gaming at all. Like I said, I did the one Nintendo, played the two games, tried Mike Tyson's Knockout. And I couldn't get it. I had the same type of problem. I was like, my brother was really good at it.
Tyson.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You spend that kind of hours sitting in front of a TV drinking Milwaukee's Best Light. You get good at stuff.
Oh, there we go. All right. Well, let's talk about a little bit about. I would be interested in. So you're playing video games, but what are you? Are you reading anything? Like, are you reading anything? Either one of you that isn't associated with what you have to read for school.
Oh yes, most definitely. I love reading books. I'm reading this David Goggins book called "Can't Hurt Me."
Okay.
Oh man, 10 out of 10.
TD agrees with it.
I've
10
seen
out of
it.
10.
I've seen it on
I
social
think
medias.
I'm on like chapter 4 or 5 right now. I read it before every game.
Oh,
and
what
I
is
read
it
on
called again?
"Can't Hurt Me" by David
Can't Hurt
Goggins.
Me.
Or
Okay.
something like that. Yeah, something
Okay.
similar to that.
It's just
All
a motivational
Yeah, that's
book,
what it's
or-
called. That's what it's called.
Yeah, it's a motivational book. It's basically about how his life was just like really kind of like messed up before his end, and like how he just like flipped the switch and just changed it for the better. And like it kind of relates to me in a way too, because like, you know, like I just had to flip a switch at the point of the day and say, hey, I don't want to live this life. I don't want to do this no more, and I want to live for the better, and I want to truly just live to have my own family and do everything right and do everything for God at the end of the day. And just at that moment, like just reading that book, like literally just going through every page. I'm just like this on the bus, literally just staring at it. I'm just with my flashlight on. We was coming back from we was coming back from Briar Cliff, reading the book for 2 hours. Mike is just like, Tay, you've been reading this book for 2 hours. I'm like, yes, bro, it's so good. I can't help it. Like, but it helps. It's like feeds my soul a little bit too, though. It keeps me maintained. So and it keeps me disciplined because I like grew up and they used to say like reading is a good thing to always have, even if you don't like it. So even if I don't like it, I still do it anyways because it's good for you.
Very glad to hear that. That sounds like a very good book. If you can read something after playing a football game on a late bus on the way back from Sioux City, where there's not much in Western Iowa, then it obviously is keeping your attention because it'd be really easy to fall asleep. And what are you reading?
Yeah, I've read some of that too. It's definitely good. If you know anything about David Goggins, he's OG. He is a pretty good guy. Military background as well, and he talked about just I think it helps with everybody, their life encounters, adversity early on in life. But at the end of the day, you control your effort and attitude. You control your own life.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do? It's not a sob story. It's not blaming XYZ. You know, at the end of the day,
there it is.
You know, you control your own life. And so that's why, you know, I mean, I'm only 22, but I try and preach that as well to whether it's my friends or younger people, family members. It's like, you know, take accountability for what you're doing, and you know, you can change your own life. You know, I did all of this by myself. You know, guidance of others, but you know, I've brought myself to the place where I am today because I've put in the hard work. You know, this is what I wanted to do. So
personal responsibility, that's a huge thing. It's not something that is as frequently appreciated as it should be. Do you flip a switch? Obviously, we've had an episode in the past we actually entitled "Flip the Switch." Yeah. You know, I know that as a soldier that was just a thing that I would teach my soldiers, that say, listen, you flip a switch, and this is what we're going to do, and you embrace the suck and you go on with it. And then obviously you're coming onto a game day experience, or you know, maybe even an intense practice or whatever it might be. You come out, flip the switch. Do you flip the switch? And if you do flip the switch, when does that happen?
I definitely do flip a switch, and I think it usually happens probably when I wake up in the morning.
Okay.
I flip that switch when I wake up in the morning.
Game day?
No, every day.
Every day. Okay.
Every day.
Okay.
I think I flip that switch every day because I wake up in the morning, you know, just give thanks, and then, hey, you got to hold yourself accountable for every action that you do today, whether it's good or bad. You flip your switch and you wake up and you go about your day. You take care of your business. Because at the end of the day, I never want to lay down and go to sleep and say, I did something wrong.
Right.
I failed today. Like, I don't ever want to feel like that. So I wake up and I flip that switch and say, hey, I'm getting up and I'm getting it done. Regardless of anything that happens, whether a hurricane or tornado can come, I'm still going to get it done.
Wow. Okay.
Absolutely. Got to flip a switch. You got to know when it's time what time is to do certain things.
Yeah.
You know? So game day, whether it's or practice days, got to flip the switch. And then game day for me, you know, wake up early in the morning, try and relax, try and get my mind right for the game, and then I'll flip the switch typically in the locker room. You know, put on my my headphones on, listen to my music, and then that's where I really start to lock in and know what I have to do in order to help the team.
What helps so as a team, you guys are working together. Things are going really well. You're obviously jiving and all of that. Now you flip that switch. Probably everybody flips their own switch at a different time. Different individuals on the team we've talked to about that specifically. And so how do you interact, or what is the best way to interact that is beneficial to the other members on the team, whether you're in the locker room and that you can see like, well, I haven't flipped my switch yet, or I have, they haven't, or they have and I haven't. Do you see that, and how do you interact with them?
I feel like our teammates specifically, they flip our switch predicate off our energy.
Okay.
I feel like that's when other people flips their switches, even if they're not ready to flip it.
Okay.
I feel like once they see like, hey, Tay's getting turned, TD's getting turned, Will's getting turned, Mike's getting turned, Sam's getting turned, everybody's getting turned. I think that's just like when everyone just starts to like, hey, it's our time to go. Okay. Everybody flip is definitely starting to switch at that point.
That was also a title of an episode, Turnt. Yeah.
It's like a snowball effect. You know, we definitely feed off of each other, and that's something that I love. You know, I've been around different teams, being my 5th year of college football. You know, I've seen a lot of players come and go, been on a bunch of different teams, and you know, one thing this year is we feed off of everybody's energy. You know,
there's a ton of it too.
Yeah,
there really is a ton of energy out there.
Yeah, make some noise.
Make some noise. I've heard a guy say that.
It's my favorite one.
I bet it is.
It is.
Yeah, you finally threw it into fourth down. There was one time,
Well,
fourth down Warriors.
Yeah, well, they're going to, if they go for it.
Well, no, I'm sorry. It was that other team. I don't know who we played. Doesn't matter.
Well,
the Trojans. Because it said, you said something.
Yeah, South Dakota
earlier.
State. They had gotten into it. You guys put them in a pretty bad situation.
Or Dakota State. We didn't play South Dakota State.
Yeah, but if we did,
we'd have killed them.
Dakota State. Sorry, but they're in South Dakota, so that's kind of confusing, isn't it? So they got into fourth down, and I was like, oh my gosh, well, we might as well make some noise here too, because
and they did.
We let them go.
Yeah, they did. They did.
The cheerleaders, the one guy cheerleader loves that. Like he turns around and first down and makes some noise thing. And apparently my wife has found like some students that she looks to try to innocuously sit near, because the student crowd is also on your side, and they are wrapped around the axles pretty good. Like, and they wait for that first down cheer, and they wait for, and they like that make the noise thing. But there's apparently a guy on the golf team, and I don't know who it is because I'm in a different place than my wife. And but he's like, she just loves that guy. Like he's like super fan of the football program and just gets into every cheer.
Well, it's a lot of fun to watch these guys. Yeah. It's ton.
Well, that's awesome if you've got the student section behind you. And that has been a thing in the past. You guys weren't here, but there were, if it's just the energy on campus that you guys are part of, that you have created. It's fun being a part of the Gridiron Club and keeping that part of things going. But that success breeds success, because look, when you go out there and you get that interception, every Warrior on campus got that interception. When you get a touchdown, everybody gets that. Like that's their touchdown, even though you do it. It's your name. I'm saying over the PA. It is. It's that, and you know what? It extends into beyond the end zone, into the gridiron, the tailgating area. That's why it's awesome for the small communities. They take ownership. Like they say, well, we're heading to Ferris State. Well, we're not heading. You guys are heading to Ferris. You know what I mean? But they look at it like it's a we. And if you can find that, I think in any organization, in any community, you're in the right place.
For sure.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So not necessarily an off-the-wall question. We'll start with TD. Who's your personal hero?
Personal hero? Oh, I think it depends which view I'm looking at it from, whether it's like a view from the left side or a view from the right side. In terms of my hero, definitely parents. My dad more so taught me the leadership skill, the rub some dirt on it. This is what you're going to do. This is how you do it. Yeah. This is why you do it. It's part of why I got where I'm at today. If you want to go play football, I'm going to teach you how to play football. This is how you do it. He was the one that got me into playing my first year of football in Pee Wee Pop Warner. Hey, Tyler, I'm going to make you play football. I played football. You're going to love it. You might not love it right now, but you are going to love it. And I remember playing my first year, I absolutely hated it. I hated football, didn't want to do it. And then, he goes, well, Tyler, this is your first year under your belt. Obviously, it's not going to be the best. Now you understand how the game's going to be played, and you're going to build off of that. Build off of that. And I'm like, man, this game, I love this game. Yeah. And build it from Pee Wee to freshman year of high school. Now I'm on the varsity team in high school to junior college 4-year. And then on the other hand is my mom. She's going to be listening to this at some point, but she teaches me the emotional side. It's not necessarily, Tyler, you don't always have to be a man, and doing these type of things. You can mental health and emotions and stuff like that. These are good things to express. Be a human. Don't have to be a robot or an athlete. Be a human being. It's okay. You don't always have to be in go mode all the time, and that's flip a switch and right. when you have to do what. So dad was leadership and be an athlete, do this, do that. Mom was like, you don't always have to do that. Emotionally, take care of your mental health, be a human being.
So I'll take two things in there before we jump to Vontae, and I'll say so I told my kids the same type of experiences with any sport and say, look, if they say, I want to do this, it doesn't matter if it was karate or baseball or football or anything. And they're like, you don't have to, like, if they would come, everybody reaches that and a little kid and they're like, I don't want to I don't want to do this. I'm like, well, that's fine. You don't have to do it next year, but you made a commitment to this team, so you're playing every game. And that's how that works. And then by that time, they figured out, because you have a commitment, so there's an honorable commitment that they have to make. And then, the other thing, the best thing that I think that I was able to tell my oldest son is in kind of relation to what your mom tells you, and that is like, you are authorized to be a kid. That's allowed. Like, sometimes you get so focused on, I got to be this, I got to do this, I got to get these grades, I got to get this on the football field, I got to, whatever it happens to be. I get, the schedules. Your schedules are so much different than what Andy and I had when we were your age. Just, you're so packed in with stuff that you're allowed to be a kid. Don't forget that, because time is fleeting. So, and I think that that was a relief to him. So didn't stop his intensity at all, but that was. You're allowed to have that, and that's a healthy thing. So now to your
Vontae.
My personal hero. I mean, it only have to be really just my grandma, because she was the one that raised me.
Right.
Even though everything wasn't perfect, but she always taught me one thing, is that just keep God first.
Yeah.
And anything that you want in life, just go out and get it and love it. And just anything that you love, just keep loving it and just keep doing it. And we got this little saying in our family, say, "Get it out the mud."
Yeah.
So
get it out the mud.
Get it out the mud. So anything.
I know what this episode's name.
This episode, there you
Get
go.
it out the mud. So we always used to tell. We used to tell each other growing up, because I have 5 brothers. I have 4 brothers, and I'm the fifth. Well, I'm the middle.
Okay.
And we always used to tell ourselves, if all things fail, we all have to do it together and get it out the mud somehow. So, I would say my grandma most definitely, because she always kept me in church even when we didn't want to.
Okay.
I didn't like to go.
Yeah.
I used to sleep all the time. I'll admit it. I used to sleep all the time.
Huh.
But it got me right. And it got me on the right path. Even though the path was rough, even though the path was hard, it still got me in the way I am today. And I'm at Waldorf, so I'm not complaining at all.
Yeah.
Good.
And she has a really big heart, even though she's mean. She's mean.
Yeah, I love that.
She will tell you she's mean. Like, I knew my grandma was mean when I seen a sign in her room saying how to be a mean mother. And I was like, how?
Well, yeah, this is a goal
But
for
she
her.
loves though. But she loves hard though. That's the thing. She poured her all into us. She gave us everything that she could. And I'm just forever grateful for her. So, but definitely my grandma would be my personal hero. 100%. I do it for her. I made a deal with her back when I was a kid that I was going to be the first to graduate and walk across the stage. And she holds my first degree right now. Yeah. And she's going to get my second one too, whenever I graduate. And if I get my third one also, which I probably will, she's going to get that one too.
Now, has she come to Waldorf to see a play?
Actually, no.
Okay.
She don't really come to my college games like that, but
Does she watch them?
Oh, please tell me
she watches
she's
them.
going to.
Yeah, she watches them. But she actually planned on getting a trip to Ferris.
Really?
She called me this morning and was like, "Can you help me book a flight to Grand Rapids, because that's the closest place?" And then she was like, and I was like, "You want to come?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "You're going to waste your vacation time to come see." I said, "Granny, we got to get this money,
Yeah.
We not okay." I'm like, "Hey, I'm fine with you missing them, and you don't got." She's like, "No, I want to." She's like, "I can take a vacation now. It's okay." And I was like, to me, that'll be probably the biggest thing for me, because she really hasn't came to one of my games. Like, she came to one of my Sagu games, but like, she wasn't like into it how like she used it, because she had to literally leave and go back home like right after the game. She had work, because my grandma just works 24 hours. Like, she literally works like 16-hour shifts like every day.
Holy.
Yeah, like she gets up, she goes to work at 5, and she don't get off sometimes till like 8 in the afternoon. Like, it's brutal.
This is kind of selfish of me, but there's a huge part of my heart right now that wants your grandmother to come up to a game either this year or hopefully next. I just want to give her a huge hug.
That's what I was thinking.
I just want to give her a hug.
Yeah.
She's planning on coming to this Ferris
slaps
game.
us both.
Exactly.
I'm going to make sure she don't slap her. I'm Granny, please don't slap
Don't slap that guy.
Can't do this.
He loves you. He's never met you, Granny, but he loves you.
Yeah, I really would love for her and all my family to come, because I think other than that, I think my grandma and my mom is the only people that actually just like came to one of my games at most. And I think it's only been one game in college that they came to, and it was because it was 3 hours away.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, I really would love for them to come to one of my games, because she just does everything for me. She really tries to help me out the best she can with what she have. And like, I never want to just feel like I'm like doing anything that's not for her and that's not for God. So I really just want to be able to reimburse her and re-bless her for everything she's done for me at the end of the day.
That's amazing.
I can't believe that either one of your families aren't anything but extremely proud of the men that you're becoming. And so talking about family, Tyler, you mentioned your mom and dad. Tell us a little bit about your family. Give some names and some shout outs. This is the time.
So my dad, Shane Dennis, been a correctional officer his whole life, and then he actually just retired. He's 47.
Good for him.
Just retired this last May, and so now he's living his best life. Retirement life and traveling.
Go on. Yes,
I talked to him yesterday. He's like, I want to come make a game, and he said I might not be able to make a home game, but hopefully I can travel to Dickinson or Mayville.
Oh yeah,
I got to come see one of your Waldorf games. He hasn't came to a game, and then my mom, Laura Dennis, she's been all over the place too, but biggest supporter. She's always watching the games. I'm always sending her links, and I'm very glad that she was able to make that drive all the way out here from Nevada, and then spend an hour at the tailgate, and then turn around and go back home.
Wow, what a special time.
Yeah,
very special.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
I do. So I'm the middle. I have an older sister, 28, with 3 kids. Have a younger brother that's 19, out of high school doing his thing, and then I'm the only one in my family playing college sports. Only one that actually has ever played college sports, and then I'll be the first one to graduate with my degree.
That's absolutely fantastic.
That is.
Wow.
We have just, Andy, really hit upon 2 great success stories, 2 amazing young men, real champions of character, and then also just leaders and role models for the team. You're in those leadership roles on the team, my hope is that that kind of success and that leadership and inspiration continues on the team, but also on campus as you walk through the halls and across the campus and through the campus center and all of the different places that you go. What you do matters. The character that you have and that gets so much respect from the guys in the locker room, that just does so much for our alma mater and the folks at Waldorf University. So we really appreciate it. And I'm not trying to wrap. I guess I am trying to wrap it up a little bit.
No, we still got a little bit left.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we haven't heard Vontae. I want
his family in.
I want to hear about your family. I want to hear some names, and I want you to give them shout outs.
He's
like looking at me like,
shout out. Hey.
So we talked about Granny a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shout out to my grandma. She's the most loving person in the world. My 4 brothers, Joshua, Joseph. My 2 younger brothers, Jaquinchon and Jaquaylin. Actually, my older brother, we used to actually play football together in high school. It was really fun being like brothers and we're just playing on the same team.
Yeah,
it was just fun. But like they used to hate us because it's like, hey, Tay's better than you. And I used to be like, no, I'm not. He's better than me. He's scoring touchdowns. I'm not doing nothing. It was just funny. But shout out to my brothers, my uncles and my cousins, and just everybody that's just a part of my family. All my friends and family back at home that just stay after them countless days and the countless nights just working with me all summer.
Right.
Even though I used to blow their phone and be like, hey, bro, you want to hit the field at like 8 o'clock at night? They're like, I got work in them. I'm like, look, I'll take you to work too if that's what help. I'll buy you something. Like, I just really want to thank everybody that just like played a big role. And want to definitely thank Coach P, thank Michael, thank Taze especially too as well, because they all came here with me. They're like my other piece of my family too, that I hold really closest to me, because like without them I wouldn't even be here. So I have to thank Coach P, his wife, Mikey and Taze, and then just thank everybody here at Waldorf too, because like this is amazing for me.
What's your grandma's name?
Joanne Savoy.
Joanne Savoy.
Thank you, Miss Joanne.
Savoy. This is Andy Buffington, and I can't wait to give you a hug. Come on up to Forest City, and you got one waiting there, young lady.
And I'm sure I'll be willing to take the slap.
I don't think she'll slap you. She not
No. Troy said he'll take a slap.
Got a sign that says how to be a tough mom.
She's not like that. Aaron. She's eased up a lot over the years.
Okay.
She's definitely more mellow now.
She listens to this though. She'll start sharpening that.
So while you guys, just quickly as we're starting to wrap up here, one of the things that I think you guys can feel it, and I hope you always know this, is that while those folks that raised you and those folks that sit at home aren't always able to be at these games, I can tell you that every time that you guys take the field, family is there watching you.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be some, old guy that hands out shoulder pads. It might be the PA guy, but we're your family, and we're always going to try to do what's best for you. This Troy, and maybe I'm wrong, this has been an exceptional episode.
Yes.
This has been, it's very emotional for me.
Yeah.
Just to listen to your guys' stories and hear a little more about you. And number one, extremely proud of both of you for who you're becoming and the direction that it seems like your life's taking. That is so heartwarming. You guys have so much upside, and I cannot wait in 3, 5, 10 years to see the amazing things that you're going to do in this world, because I meet a lot of people, and we have so many great kids on our team, and you guys are definitely in that upper echelon of Waldorf football. And I'm just very, very proud of you and love each one of you like you're my own sons, and I'll do anything for you anytime that I ever can.
Thanks so much for sharing. I mean, opening up and sharing, and maybe it's not opening up at all. Maybe it's like that's just, you'd be honest and open like that with anyone that asks you. And I just really appreciate that. I think you guys are definitely, like that, cream of the crop, and really just appreciate your attitudes and opening up and telling us your story.
Yeah, well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure and an honor for us to be able to talk with you just for a few minutes and get to know you. And I can't wait for this podcast to air so that the world can know a little bit more about you, and they're going to appreciate the type of men that you are, and what you bring to our university and our community. So with that, I want to thank everyone for listening to this episode of the Waldorf Gridiron Podcast. We've got Tyler Dennis and Vontae Harper, the new name. So with that, for Troy Thompson and Andy Buffington, thanks so much for listening. And forever and always,
go Warriors.
You can join the Waldorf Gridiron Club today by sending a check to the Waldorf Gridiron Club, P.O. Box 125, Forest City, Iowa 50436.
Or message us by visiting and like our Facebook page, Waldorf Gridiron Club, or email us at waldorfgridironclub@gmail.com.
Or it's as easy as clicking on the Support the Show link on your phone. Become a patron of the Gridiron Club by choosing to support the program monthly. $100 is the black membership at $9 a month.
The $250 level is purple at $25 a month.
$500 is the Warrior membership at $45 a month.
The all-conference level is $750 or $65 a month.
$1,000 is the All-American membership at $85 a month.
The champion level is $125 a month, and that's $1,500 a year.
$2,500 is the Hall of Fame membership.
The Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast is hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson. Produced by Sunnyside Farmstead Studios in beautiful rural Forest City, Iowa. The music is by Christian Leo. The Waldorf Gridiron Club is a nonprofit 501c3 organization dedicated to the football student athletes of Waldorf University. Our mission is to assist the program in maintaining the best small college football experience in America.